One second, just
Hello, Ajit.
yes, yes. Welcome, Roman.
Welcome, Ajit.
Yeah,
We will continue our uh, meetings and discussion about actual topics. And I would like to start from the question which is arise a lot in different chats and groups and, in social media. Um, Especially after your advice is to use high potencies even to for prevention of Omicron or COVID. People started to share the concern about is it dangerous? Is it useful? Do you have enough enough patients and enough data to use it? Before you start, I would like to stress here two things from my point of view. Um, if you open Berkey, you will read there that the 30C is a very high potency, very, very high potency. And you be very careful because this is huge. And if you read Kent, several clinical cases you can find, and I used 42M. Yeah, it means 42 times more than 1M. So
yeah.
Kent understood something in homeopathy to use such high potencies. And this is a very big topic, and we can spend a lot of time and even bring many cases and nice series of webinars about it. But let us answer in short to those people who are afraid, who are very conscious about using high potencies in everyday practice.
You see that the concept of low and high potencies is more in the mind of a homeopath. Nothing is low and nothing is high. Potency is potency. You have just to tailor it to the needs of a sick individual. So 30 may be in one patient high, and CM potency could be low in another individual. If you go strictly by the principle of individualization, then the concept of low and high have to be abandoned. And what is needed for the patient must be the science. Enough experience is in homeopathy about low potencies, about medium potencies, and about high potencies. In all the areas of decimal scale, centesimal scale, and also in LM scale. The matter is that we began in homeopathy right from the Hanuman onwards about the low potencies, because we never thought that the potencies could be 200 and 1M and 10M and 50M. So we didn't find Hanuman and many others not using the highest potencies in homeopathy. Rather, as you have very rightly put up, it was the Kent who made popular the high potencies being used as a single dose in highest potency possible, maybe in 50M or CM potency for many inveterate diseases, including psychiatric illnesses. So the matter is that neither Hanuman was wrong or Kent was wrong. Both were right in their own way. If someone uses hypotension and cures the disease, every other homeopath must respect it. In the same way, if some homeopath uses low potencies and cures the disease, he also must be respected. So the matter is not that they are at cross with each other. They are not criminal to use low potencies or criminal to use the high potencies. The matter is, do the science of posology based on some fundamental components is understood very well. This is the idea. So, what is the fundamental posological considerations? That is the science behind use of the low potencies, science behind use of the medium potencies, and science behind use of the high potencies. This has to be emphasized, not low or not high. When you are consulting on the background of the individualization, which is a central tenet of prescribing in homeopathy, see how much flexible you have to be. That flexibility must be mirrored, must be reflected in your posology. You know, there are some physicians in India who use only 30 potency for children, for adults, for susceptibility increase, for susceptibility decrease in functional cases, in structural diseases. So, what is this individualization? Do you think this is individualization? No. When 1M is needed, when CM is needed, when low 6 potency is needed, you must give it. Are there some principles? Yes. So, in my book on homeopathic posology, I have given all the indications of low potencies, medium potencies, and high potencies. I am not a human being. I am not a practitioner of homeopathy who believes in high potency or who believes in low potency. I believe in all potencies which are needed for the suffering people. So I am not an advocate of this or advocate of that or opponent of this and opponent of that. I am with my patient's data. I flow with my patient. I see the priority which the system of a human being who is sick comes to me. And this data gives me really the posology consideration to be followed. So
And
I
I
do
think,
not fall into the category of high and low. Why I should? Yeah,
I think that it's a very good introduction to understand posology and to reveal some secrets from this field. And as you said, individualization is a very important key to understand all this. And to understand this topic, you have to learn this science of posology
yeah,
and to use it in your everyday practice.
correct. Now see that uh, is it not dangerous? Who says that low potencies are not dangerous? If you are using low potencies of arsenic iodine, sulfur in 3x potency, 6x potency, below 12C, you are using crude medication, maybe on the basis of the law of similars. Are they not dangerous to the system because they have crude material in it? So don't fall in this category that high potencies are dangerous. This is in your mind. This is just a conceptual understanding given to you by someone.
Especially when this
And
concept used by um, not only homeopaths, but people around homeopathy who thinks that
correct.
they are um, helping humanity
Yeah,
to be protected from homeopaths who use high potencies. In the same manner, I would like to ask why not to protect humanity from homeopaths who use low potencies where
yeah,
it's not appropriate and it could bring harm and difficulties in any individual case.
yeah. Roman, there is a other side to it. The side is that you see, when I'm using low potency, I'm more safe. Even though the patient is not feeling better, it doesn't matter. I am safe. This is the understanding, which is not a good understanding. Ultimately, it is not an individual issue of fear and anxiety. It is an issue of a healer. When you are as a doctor, how much you are able to heal the patient at mind level, at the body level, at the physical pathological level, because the very purpose of medical practice is to cure the patient permanently, rapidly. So Hanuman was very clever, no? He used three words: gently, permanently, and rapidly. What do you want to say about Bodland, who made a very big research over the pneumonia cases at the Royal London Homeopathic Hospital? And Roman, you allowed me to travel in, you see, London with your, you see, very good amicable gesture. I was able to see from the outside London Homeopathic Hospital. Can you imagine this Bodleian doctor treated more than 1000 cases of pneumonia with high potencies? He used to give 10 m and cm potency every 15 minutes also. He wrote a very, very interesting book on pneumonia. Do you want to say that this book has no value because you have a fear that no one should use hypotensives? So are these hypotensives to be used for, you see, decorative gift and decorative object in our clinic? No, never. They should be used when required. When your
This,
patient demands it, you must use them.
I think that this is a very important sentence and quote. You have to use a potency or high or low or middle when it requires. This
Correct.
is very important thing. And
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to apply right potency. This is another story. I think that we will explore about it in
yeah,
our next short question
yeah,
answers sessions.
yeah, yeah,
So this is about potencies.
yeah.